kittens, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of the MonkeyBoy Presents the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, and today I'm happy to bring you issue number 109 in the series, Robotman, and this is the second member of this superhero team known as the Doom Patrol to be featured in this collection. Elastigirl, aka Elastigirl, was featured just a few issues ago, and technically Beast Boy counts, although he's more recognized as a member of the Teen Titans. For those of you who are aware of Robotman, chances are you know him from the same appearances that Elastigirl has made in animated series such as the Teen Titans animated show that used to air on Cartoon Network. He has also appeared alongside his teammates on the Doom Patrol in a couple of episodes of Batman, the Brave and the Bold. And most recently, Robotman, alongside the Doom Patrol, have appeared in a couple of DC Nation shorts, which air during the DC block of cartoon shows on Cartoon Network, which still, to my knowledge, only consists of Teen Titans Go. For those of you who are unaware of Robotman, here, that of course is why we have the magazine, which will tell you everything you need to know about the strong man in the team known as the Doom Patrol, also known as Cliff Steele, and then we'll take a look at the figure itself, covering the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's another, I think, pretty nice figure, a step in the right direction given that the last couple have been pretty disappointing, and a really unique character. The Doom Patrol are really nothing but unique characters, so I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy issue number 109 of the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, Robotman. First up, the character section. Where we learn that Cliff Steele, as a boy, was bullied in school, but this only pushed him to become more physically fit. He also had a natural affinity for motorsports, which led to him becoming one of NASCAR's up-and-coming young stars. That is, until a catastrophic accident ended his career, and, by most legal standards, his life. A brilliant scientist named Dr. Niles Calder saved what little was left of Cliff and put him inside of a metal body. Blissfully unaware that Dr. Calder had arranged the accidents that gave them their new powers, Cliff, Rita, and Larry joined together to become the team known as the Doom Patrol. Cliff took the codename Robotman, and together the Doom Patrol battled against the strange and weird villains in the DCU, like the teleporting alien known as Zorax-13, and Cliff employed his new super strength to take down the evil gorilla bodyguard known as Monsieur Mala. Unfortunately, Cliff, Larry, Rita, and Dr. Calder sacrificed themselves in a fiery explosion to save a small fishing town nearby from being demolished by the evil Madame Rouge. After receiving an upgrade to his body, courtesy of Dr. William Magnus, the creator of the Metal Men, Cliff returned to the Doom Patrol's old headquarters to find that Dr. Calder's ex-wife had created a second Doom Patrol. Together, this new Doom Patrol continued to fight against the strange and weird villains in the DCU, including a demonic priest known as Kalkai. After reluctantly coming out of retirement to join the second Doom Patrol again, Robotman helped them take on enemies like the villainous Metallo, helped them to repel an invasion of evil plastic men, and the team temporarily joined forces with members of the Justice League, including Aquaman and the Sea Devils, to help stop a gene bomb from going off that will rewrite the DNA of anyone with superpowers so that they will lose those superpowers. Cliff was reunited with Larry and Dr. Calder and joined the third incarnation of the Doom Patrol, where he and his new teammates took on villains like the menacing Scissormen. The last couple pages bring us up to speed with the character, at least at the time of this publication. It's finally revealed to the team that Dr. Calder had arranged for their accidents and had also been secretly manipulating them the entire time. However, after Robotman managed to save the Chief's life from an alien being known as the Candlemaker, the Chief begged for forgiveness and swore that he would never try to cross the team again. We also learn of a fake Robotman who is going around as the leader of an imposter Doom Patrol. Lastly, we find the original members of the Doom Patrol being reunited when Rita Farr, Elastigirl, is cloned by the Chief. Unfortunately, all is not well, and the Chief has gone mad yet again after moving the team to Oolong Island so that he can conduct genetic experiments without supervision. This time the team was prepared and fought against their new, villainous, superpowered former friend. Ultimately, it was Robotman himself who took down the Chief by using his head. Next, we look at some of Robotman's classic stories. First, we look at Doom Patrol, Magic Bus, and Planet Love.
I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
And this is arguably one of the strangest stories of the Doom Patrol that's out there. It's the first time that Dr. Calder is revealed to be a traitor, and he turns on the team, paralyzing Robotman using some hidden subroutines that were built into his programming. He then explains that he's going to reshape the world sort of in his own image, while at the same time, a demonic entity that calls itself the Candlemaker is unleashed on the world. It attacks the Doom Patrol, it attacks Robotman, and for a while it looks like all hope is lost until Robotman, who rebuilds himself, leaps back into action to take down this demonic entity, reunite the Doom Patrol, and ultimately save the day. It's a crazy tale, but it's definitely worth a read. We also have Doom Patrol Volume 2, Issue 74. This is another strange but very captivating tale that's surprisingly on a really small scale. Cliff Steele, aka Robotman, discovers that his consciousness has been downloaded and has been put out on the internet, pirated by hackers, and is now being used in operating systems and small-scale robots for hobby enthusiasts. He and one of his new teammates on the third incarnation of the Doom Patrol track down these hackers and the sleazy businessman who made a deal with them. Cliff is even at one point forced to prove that he is the real Cliff Steele and not just another copy. It's a really strange, interesting story that's beautifully illustrated, and I highly recommend checking out. Robotman's Friends and Foes section features the brilliant Dr. William Magnus, the traitorous Chief, and his friends and allies on the Doom Patrol, Negative Man, and Elastigirl. Finally, the iconography section looks at some of the other heroes and villains who have had their brains transplanted into other bodies. It starts by looking at Frankenstein's monster, one of the first successful brain transplants on record. It also tells of the first Robotman, who was a scientist named Robert Crane, who was shot and killed by gangsters. Luckily, his assistant was nearby and installed his brain into this mechanical automaton the pair had been working on. Meanwhile, in Gotham City, rogue surgeon Doc Willard transplants the brain of a dying gang boss into the body of an enormous gorilla that is ultimately stopped by the dynamic duo. We finally learn that after Lex Luthor's body succumbed to the effects of kryptonite poisoning, he had his brain removed and transplanted into a cloned body of himself. Here we have Robotman, also known as as Cliff Steele, the second member of the Doom Patrol to be included in the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, and a really nice entry in my opinion. A slight step up from Elastigirl, whom I liked. There were just some minor issues with her in the sculpt and the pose, but overall really liked her a lot. Robotman here, though, I think is, like I said, a step above. I really like the pose a lot. It's very reminiscent of Lobo with his 1 foot up instead of on like a skull or a humanoid head. This, of course, is on a robotic head, but it's still nice. It's still nicely detailed. I like the copper, metallic sort of copper color of Robotman here. All the little details are fantastic. Even with crossed arms, there's still some fantastic detail. I only have a couple of minor nitpicks, really, I think, but overall, very pleased with this guy. I think he's a really cool addition. I'll talk a little bit more about the things I really do like in some better detail, along with the minor issues I have with him in the next section in just a moment. Robotman stands atop the classic DC logo, and the underside of the base features his name and serial number. And to give you a sense of size and scale, here he is next to some of the other cyborgs and robots that have been released as part of the DC Eaglemoss collection, and in a group shot alongside his fellow members of the Doom Patrol that have been released by Eaglemoss. Robotman is another really cool character to include in this collection, and another really nice figure. I think it's great to have another member of the Doom Patrol. The fact that they included all 3 of the core members is fantastic. He has great detailing, nice paint, a cool pose. The good by far outweighs the bad on this guy. Starting as always with the good, I really like the pose on the character. He looks tough, like a strong man. I like the sculpt. It's fantastically detailed. Lots of great little details all over this character. The paint is, for the most part, pretty clean, and the color choices are, I think, perfect, pretty much spot on. You can see, starting with the base of the character here, how his pose is great. I like how the one leg is up and on top of that head of this robot that he's obviously been in combat with and has decapitated. And you can see the detailing on his legs are just fantastic. You can see every plate, but the robot head that he stands atop is pretty nicely detailed as well. His upper body and midsection too is nicely sculpted, nicely painted. I like those black shorts, I guess, that he wears. They're a glossy black. And too, the copper of him, the metallic bits of him, have a nice slight metallic fleck. It's sort of dull. The detailing on his upper body is also fantastic. You can see he has the Doom Patrol logo on his belt there, hand painted, no decals, very nice. And all of the intricate little details on his upper body. Even though he has crossed arms, you can see he almost looks muscled the way that he's designed. And it's carried all throughout, across his back, on both of his arms, his shoulders. He just looks really fantastic. There's all sorts of intricate little details to look at, which I just love about this character. Finally, the head sculpt is pretty good. I like the red eyes, how they look as though they're glowing. It's a good detailed, nicely painted. I like the jaw. I like how he looks like a robot. You can see panels and pieces. The riveting on the head sculpt. Lots of nice details. His ears are sort of there as well. Panels and plating. He just looks good. The jaw, even the nose. It's nice. He looks like a handcrafted sort of automaton. It looks like Robotman, like Cliff. It's very nicely done. Moving on to bad, which really are just nitpicks. The head sculpt, while it's very nice, it is a little bit too small, especially with those big broad shoulders. It could have been a little bit bigger, which would have allowed for some more detailing, but it is very nice for the most part. Also, I wish he had the antenna coming off the right side of his head, but again, that's just a little fanboy nitpick. Also a nitpick, the DP logos on the sides of the shorts would have been nice, although it's not terrible and not a huge deal. Finally, the paint, while it's very, very nice, it is a little bit inconsistent, I think is the best word, especially around the midsection with that meshing. It's just sort of splotchy. Finally, the ugly, nothing. The Robotman is a very solid hunk of lead, nothing bendable or breakable about this character. Overall, I am very happy with Robotman here. I think he is a fun character, a fun addition to this collection. One that I was pleasantly surprised by. Another one that I wasn't expecting a whole lot from, and really, really ended up liking a lot. From the pose to all the little details on him. My nitpicks aside, they really are just fanboy nitpicks. I think this guy is nearly perfect. If you like the cybernetic, robotic weird, strange, obscure heroes and villains, I think you should definitely add Robotman to your collection, because the Doom Patrol is nothing if not strange and weird and unique too. I recommend picking Robotman up, adding him to your personal collection. Get the Doom Patrol, man. Put them on your shelf. They really are cool to look at. And I hope you have enjoyed my review of issue number 109, Robotman, aka Cliff Steele. Please stay tuned for a quick teaser trailer of the next figure in the collection. Another hero, another very obscure hero too, who originally debuted in the Wildstorm universe and then became part of DC Comics' Vertigo line, and now I think is part of the DCU proper with the whole Flashpoint and New 52 reboots and everything going on. A character that I really liked back in the Wildstorm days, and one that I hope you guys enjoy. So stay tuned for that quick teaser trailer. As always, I am your host, the Monkey Boy, aka Jay to his friends. Thanks for watching.